Hello everyone, Mike Kahn here. I'm going to make a video about the textbook, explain what happened, and then just describe the textbook and some of the other textbooks that we can use as a resource. So this just came in the mail today. It's called Drawing for the Absolute and Utter Beginner by Claire Watson Garcia. And I went through the book, kind of scanning it, looking at the different activities. Looks like it's standard drawing activities, and a lot of drawing from life, pencil value, contour line. And one thing that struck me about the book is its similarity to another drawing textbook. So I would say that this textbook, which looks good, looks like a good one for a beginning drawing art class, is very, very similar to this textbook right here, which is called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. And this is a classic drawing textbook. And what it references is when it says drawing on the right side of the brain, is how when you're drawing, sometimes you're using a certain part of your brain, and you want to get your drawing to be a subconscious thing where when you're looking at something, you just get to drawing it so that your hand syncs up with what your eyes see. Meaning that drawing is as much an activity of using your hand as it is as much using your eyes and seeing accurately, and more importantly, thinking about it in the correct way. So there's often this saying in drawing, which is draw what you see, not what you know. I think that is a good saying for doing still lifes and accurate type drawing, and a certain type of academic type drawing, which is drawing from life, meaning setting up objects and drawing those objects. But there's a whole other world of drawing, which is drawing from your mind and drawing with imagination, with expression and abstraction. There's a whole other world that I like to explore in drawing as well. So this is talking about drawing as a skill and making it a subconscious thing. So as you approach something, you go into a mindset where your eye will follow an object and your hand will automatically do what your eye is telling it to do, which is a very specific skill that takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it's learnable, it's doable, and then you can create these like really accurate drawings from looking at something, meaning you can look at an object and then just draw it, right? So that comes from this book, which this book is a condensed version, I would say, of the content of this. I guarantee you, I would bet $1 million that the author of this book read this book a long time ago, because the content is almost identical. It's just a condensed, kind of easier version of what's in this. Now, the other classic textbook that I have is just called Drawing. This is it right here. And this one kind of approaches drawing from the classic academic or academia style of drawing, which is looking at classical work. Here, look at a classic, and then using that as a reference, which means that you look at master artworks and you use that as a reference for designing some of your own pieces. So this one is tied to art history, which is nice. So we can use this as a reference. You can see this is kind of a thicker book, and this is an older book. This one is a very classic text. I have a, here, this is the same exact text, but from the 80s. I think one of these is from the 70s. Let's see. I'll look up and see which edition. This one is from 1966. How do you like that? And this is a newer version, and this one was reprinted in let's see, yeah, like 1980 or something. I can't see the exact date here. It's still showing the original print date. But anyway, this is a like newer version, 1989. Or this one was printed in 1989, even though it's the same thing. All right, I have some other books too. This one's called Sketching School that I'll use. This one is more about the materials and adding color, and there's some interesting activities that we can reference there. This one book is called Drawing Lifelike Portraits from Photography, which is a little bit different. This is drawing from source images, which is a different skill. We're often using this grid technique, right? And the image is flattened for you. So drawing from a still life is a very different skill from drawing from a photo. But we'll look at that. We'll do both of those. And what I want my drawing class to be is comprehensive. I don't want to focus on one area because there's a couple different areas. You can do still life type drawings or drawing objects. You can do drawing from photographs or drawing from pre-existing images. You can do drawings from your mind, imagination, cartoons. You can do expressive drawings. You can do, conceptual type art, if you want to look at some of the newer art, or a combination of all of that, right? There's a way of, mix and matching different styles and different techniques. I once took a printmaking class. Printmaking is very similar to drawing. You use a lot of similar techniques, and I studied some prints that Picasso had done in the 60s. And Picasso, what I was struck by is how he would mix and match different drawing styles. So he would be doing cross hatching, and then he would do some contour, and then he would do some pointillism, and then he would do some real accurate areas, and then he would do some kind of expressive areas in other parts. And that I thought was an interesting way to approach drawing, kind of like how a musician can move between different styles of music, right? There's some contemporary musicians who they can play country, they can play rock, they can play whatever. They can move between. They can use a little bit of jazz, a little bit of bluegrass. It's the same thing. If a drawer, can know and understand what the different styles are, or the different techniques, and then utilize those in multiple ways within a drawing, you can create a really interesting looking drawing. So anyway, back to the textbook. What I'm going to do is, because this textbook was set as the required textbook before I was the teacher of the class, let me give you the history. So this course was developed by Wabash Valley by a different instructor. And it wasn't really developed. It was more like they said they were going to teach it. And the guy, his name was Gary Deckert, and he set up the class, and he works for another institution, but he was going to do this favor for the administrator at Wabash Valley. And at the last minute, he backed out. He got too busy. I don't know what the story is. But all I know is he said, I can't teach the class anymore. And there were students signed up for it. Now, I'm the old art instructor at Olney Central College. And so the administrator came to me and said, could you teach this class for us? I said, sure, I'll do it. I thought about it for a second. I said, sure, I'll do it, because it's kind of an emergency situation and it sounds like fun. So I didn't even know about that there was a textbook. I just set up my syllabus and started, going forward with the class. Then later, a couple days later, they said, hey, everyone bought this book. I said, what book? So I said, send me the book. So now I have the book and I'm familiar with the activities, and I will incorporate it into the classroom. So just give me about a week and I'll try to weave it in, and then I'll also use it. I think I can sync it up with some of the assignments that I want to do. Because what I tend to do when I teach is, instead of little tiny things, I like to do big projects. Like, I would rather do 7 big projects than 20 little tiny projects. I think people learn better that way. And you end up with something that you like, that you want to hang up on the wall, meaning that if you do a couple really good projects, then you're like, look what I made. I made this. And then you can frame it and display it. And I think people learn through that process. So what I'll do is I'll try to incorporate this textbook, and I can do it. Just give me a little bit of time, and I'll weave it into the curriculum. So if you got the book, good. And this book is called Drawing for the Absolute and Utter Beginner by Claire Watson Garcia. I think you can get it on Amazon. The bookstore has it as well. That's it for now. I'm going to be making some more videos. It's white outside because it's snowing. And no one's here at OCC. It's just me and the president and the maintenance crew. So I think I'll have some time to do a couple things for this class and my other online classes. All right. Have a fantastic day, and email me with any questions. Thank you. Bye.